Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It is Monday morning. It's October 27th, and it's 2:39 in the a.m. I am beyond exhausted. Did not have a good night's sleep. Now I'm experiencing some serious osteopain with this sprained ankle, and it kept me up all night. I have to say that. Every so often I turn and twinge. Um, and Saturday morning, I took the family out to breakfast to celebrate my sister's birthday. And I decided to put on my Tim's. Now, if you're from New York, you know. We wear Tim's with shorts. Tim's are all season. And for those of you who aren't from New York, I'm talking about Timberlands. So I put on my 6-inch Tim's, and in order to get my Tim's on, I had to pull on the back a little bit, and you know how you rock the shoe back and forth, thereby irritating the hell out of my ankle. But I got the shoe on, and we dined al fresco. And they had the restaurant heaters and all that good stuff. And the area was covered because it was drizzling a little bit. But we had a really nice breakfast. But I'm paying for it. Now, let's get back to the breakfast. It's very rare that I cross the bay because I'm usually on the weekends putting together orders, but I just put everything on hold because it's my younger sister's birthday. And I love that girl to pieces, so I'm going to celebrate my sister. So I'm going to say first generation nephew who is grown, and his kids, second generation nephews, 3 boys, and his wife, my sister, and I, all sitting there. And second generation, the oldest, was telling me about his chess tournament, and I was asking him questions about playing chess because for the life of me, now I'm very analytical, I'm very numbers oriented, but I'm not good at like abstract math. I look for patterns. I'm sure if I applied myself, I would be able to play chess, but I'm not that interested, so I don't. But he won his chess tournament. He's in the 7th grade. He won his chess tournament, and he played some people in the 8th grade, and he won that. So my man is very analytical, and I just love that. He's very cerebral. I love that because that's who my family is. We each have our little specific areas where, we find our creative juices or our energy. My sister is very analytical and math oriented, and her degree is in public policy. My grown nephew has the math gene, because my brother was super smart in math. My brother could have gone from 2nd to 7th grade. So he skipped some grades in school and thereby missing some social development. Maybe that's why he's such an ass. I don't know. Well, I do know, but that's a story for another day that I will get into. But oldest nephew, grown nephew, has the math gene, and he just kind of passed it on to his kids, and it's like they can add dollars and cents at a very early age, and break down to the point of coinage. That's the kind of math problems he was giving them. So just having that conversation. But my sister, bless her heart, has very little street smarts. Now see, for me, I associated with kids from the hood and the nerds. So I like to use the phrase, I'm the kid that your mother warned you about. I'm an educated thug. So I could go either way as far as conversation and sometimes action. Got to be honest. So we were having this conversation, and I made the statement, something to the effect about this face. Second generation nephew didn't know what that was. And I could see my sister trying to get into the conversation, but I know she didn't know what it was. So then I started talking about the hyphy movement. Second generation nephew said, "What's that?" First generation nephew said, "Oh boy, oh, please don't ever say that around people who were born and raised in the Bay Area." And so the younger nephew looked at his dad like, really puzzled. He said, "That's like going into church and asking, who is Jesus?" And I couldn't help but laugh because it's true. It's like, some Bay Area rappers are like, you got to know that you know that you know. So, I was trying to show my nephew the fizz dance, the hyphy dance movements. And I was like, if you see somebody dancing like, you got to grab your collar and swerve with the beat. And I said, have you ever heard someone say, yada mean? And that's a really fast version of, you know what I mean? Yada mean? E40, yada mean? For show. You know what I mean? For cheesy, And I was trying to explain the fizz face. And my sister said, I don't think I would ever know anyone that says yada mean. She's right. That in and of itself. I remember my sister seeing, D-Boy, the corner soldier, walking his little pitty. And she said, oh, what a cute dog. Oh my goodness, she just fawned all over the dog. What's the dog's name? And my man said, Indo. And my sister, oh, that's a unique name. Baby Indy. And she was going on. I said, the dog is named after weed. And that was a clutch the pearls moment for her because she didn't know. She had never heard the term Indo. She just did not know. I was like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I thank God I have some hood rich friends, and I thank God that I work in an environment where I get to hear about both worlds. I don't want to ever be that isolated where I'm not in the know, may not socialize, may not stay in the environment, but I want to know that I know and, have some relation to other than TV references. I guess my sister led a very sheltered life, but that was my chuckle for the overall conversation at the breakfast table on Saturday morning. Not knowing about hyphy and Mac Dre and E40, the Bay Area rappers. It's like walking into a church and not knowing about Jesus. That part.